Let's set the scene. You are scrolling through the game reviews, trying to find that next digital adventure to lose yourself in. You come across one that's all the rage, but there's a catch. Folks say you got to slog through a desert of a boredom for hours before you hit the oasis of fun. No, you think tossing that suggestion into the virtual bin. After all, who's got the time to meander around in the doll before getting to the diesel when there are loads of other games begging for your attention? Enter Rise of the Ronin. Now, if you had asked me about it in my first 5 or 10 hours, I would have yawned. It was like being promised a gourmet meal and then having to nibble on stale bread. But stick with it for a grand total of 50 hours and suddenly it's like the skies part and the sun shines through and you are hooked. By the end, I'm all in, ready to comb through every nook and cranny for hidden treasures, replay those epic showdowns, and rival alternative storylines. It's a classic tale of a slow burn turns firecracker, where the initial trudge pays off in a big way once the game hits its stride, with samurai showdowns and missions that pull you in deep. Imagine a game that doesn't just throw you into a world of sword and clashing and stealth missions, but actually makes you care deeply about the folks you meet along the way. That's the magic sauce in the Rise of the Ronin. It's not just about hacking and slashing, it's about forging connection in a world teetering on the brink of monumental change. The game's got this thing called the bond system, and no, it's not about investing in stocks or dealing with secret agents. It's all about relationships. You do a solid for someone, and bam, you are bonded. This could be anything from fetching a bucket of water to toppling the corrupt government official. It's all in a day's work. What makes this interesting isn't the novelty. We have all seen a similar system in other games, where you're causing up to faction or playing the popularity game. The real gem here is how Rise of the Ronin makes every interaction count. It's not just ticking boxes, it's investing in the world and its inhabitants. Every side quest, every nod to a passerby, it all waves into tapestry that feels alive. Team Ninja, the brainiacs behind the game, really went all out to ensure you feel like a part of this world. Your connection drives the story, makes the struggles real, and the victories weather. This bond business plays out across a sprawling open world Japan, making every province, every alleyway, and every shadowy figure part of your story. It's a grand ambitious approach that turns a simple mechanic into the cornerstone of the entire experience.
Unfortunately, he has no clue where Master Shoin might be either. This is a place where people know things, but tonight I got nothing. How about you? Have fun?
Diving deeper into the heart of the game, the combat and story are next on our tour through Rise of the Ronin. Keep your eyes peeled for what's coming up. Marching forward, let's unsheath the complexity of the combat system and learning curve. Here's where Rise of the Ronin throws you into the deep end, minus the armor floaties. Combat in this game? It's like trying to learn to dance tango in a minefield. You've got martial attacks and counter perks, which might sound like something out of Fireworks manual, but are actually your bread and butter for not getting sliced into sashimi. Martial attacks are your big show-stopping moves, and counter perks? They are your fancy footwork, your parry with pizzas. At first, I won't sugarcoat it, the combat felt like trying to thread a needle on a roller coaster. Frustrating doesn't even start to cover it. You are supposed to parry and dodge like some kind of sword-swinging ballet dancer, but with the added fun of controls that feel like you are trying to solve the Rubik's Cube in the middle of a mosh pit. Enemies come at you with the subtlety of a freight train, and you are left trying to figure out why your fancy moves keep you getting up close and personal with the dirt. But, and here's the real kicker, once you get the hang of it, once you start reading your enemies like a trash novel, that's when the magic happens. Those counter perks that had you cursing, they become your best friend. The key to turning the tide in battles that feel like you are choreographed by a Hollywood stunt coordinator. It's a steep hill to climb, but away from the top, chef's kiss. wrap into the next part where we slice into the storyline and character development. Trust me, it's a ride worth taking. The tale Rise of the Ronin spins is like a juicy historical drama, but with more swords and less sitting around in parlors. Picture this, it's the 1816s in Japan, a time when the country is cracking open its doors to the world, and not everyone's thrilled about the new neighbors. You are a samurai with a body from the sandbox days. Both of you rise to be the ultimate duo of destruction for a group that's about as friendly with the government as a cat is with a bat. Things get real when your mission to say hello to a high-profile American with your blade goes sideways. Your partner pulls a heroic sacrifice move, and you are left to wander the land, cleanless and with a burning need of answers. Rumors whisper that your blade brother or sister, the game's not picky, might just have dodged the Reaper, sparking a quest that throws you head first into a cauldron of political intrigue and open-world adventure. What makes this saga stick, though, isn't just the backdrop of political chess, it's the people you meet along the way. Each character you cross worlds or share a cup of sake with adds a layer to the story, painting a picture of a world at a crossroads. Your decision, who you ally with causes you champion, it all fits back into the narrative, turning the game into a branching river of possibilities. Your actions shape the world, and in turn the world shapes you.
Bandits! They attacked our village with no warning. Bastards! But now, everyone else is back. Thanks to you, we are in proper shape to rebuild the village. I wish to repay you for saving our village.
Next up, we are going to lace up our boots and trek through the open world exploration and side quest. Ready to explore? Keep those eyes peeled. Figure out Japan so vast and detailed, you could lose days just watching virtual cherry blossom fall. That's Playground: The Rise of the Ronin ends you. But it's not just about the scenery. It's about the stories, the secrets tucked away in every shadow that lie and mystery mountaintop. The world is alive, teeming with quests that pull you deeper into its heart, challenges that test your steel, and mysteries that tickle your curiosity. However, not every trek through the wilds is a revelation. Some paths tread familiar ground, leading you through a checklist of open-world chores we have all done 1,000 times before. Go there, fetch this, defeat those bandits. Can feel a bit like you are the world's deadliest errand runner at times. Yet, for every moment of deja vu, there's a bond missions that reminds you why you are here. These aren't just side quests, they are windows into the lives of the people you are fighting alongside. Opportunities to turn acquaintances into allies and allies into friends. It's this connection that elevates the experience, transforming routine tasks into steps on a journey you are taking together. But it's not just about building friendships. Your actions ripple through the world, shaping the landscape of power and politics that surrounds you. The open worlds of Rise of the Ronin is a dynamic battlefield where your choices matter, where helping one village might tip the balance in a regional power struggle, and where the bonds you forge can turn the tide of coming conflicts. Next, we'll wrap up this epic saga with our critic and final thoughts. Stay tuned for the concluding chapter of our adventure to Rise of the Ronin. After clocking in more than 50 hours, navigating the complex web of alliances, and slicing through the hordes of enemies, it's time to sit back and chew on the meat of the experience. For all its sprawling beauty and deep narrative, Rise of the Ronin isn't without its thorns. The combat, while eventually accelerating, starts off as a puzzling dance of buttons that feels like trying to pat your head and rub your belly while riding a unicycle. It's complex, demanding, and at times downright frustrating. But once you cross that learning curve, the system reveals itself as a finely tuned instrument of chaos and strategy that rewards patience and skill. The controls, a labyrinthine maze of commands that could make a game a manual whip, are another hurdle. They demand a level of dexterity and memory that might leave you fumbling in the heat of battle, cursing under your breath as you accidentally toss a healing pills instead of pairing. Yet with time these two become second nature, transforming you from a clumsy novice into a masterful warrior, orchestrating a ballet of destruction with grace. The heart of Rise of the Ronin, though, based strongest in its story and characters. The narrative, rich with historical intrigue and personal drama, crafts a world that's both vast and immediately detailed. The bond system, more than just a gameplay mechanic, is the thread that weaves together the tapestry of your adventure, creating a story that feels uniquely yours. But the open world, while impressive in scope, occasionally stumbles with a repetitive task and undercooked stealth mechanics that can pull you out of the immersion. Yet these moments are but shadow in the light of the game's achievements, small grips in otherwise captivating experience. As the curtain falls in our time of feudal Japan, Rise of the Ronin leaves a lasting impression. It's a game that dares to take its time, rewarding those willing to invest in its world and master its complexities with a rich, engaging experience. The journey may start slow, but the destination is worth every step, every swing of the sword, and every hard-fought victory. It's an odyssey that asks much, but gives back even more. And with that, our detailed exploration of Rise of the Ronin comes to a close. Thanks for sticking through the adventure with me. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, subscribe, activate the bell, and hit the like buttons. See you soon, folks!